In Batman Arkham Asylum, combat is primarily made up of punching enemies and countering enemy punches. So I got to thinking, can you beat Batman Arkham Asylum without countering? The walkthrough intensive treatment with the captured Joker was plagued with one question. Will this run be unreasonably difficult or pathetically easy? On one hand, if the challenge is really hard, it'll be a pain in the ass to play through the game. But on the other hand, if the challenge is really easy, the video won't be as interesting. Well, it seems that the Joker's escaped, so I better go chase after him. Now, when it came to the first fight against some thugs on my way after Joker, it went pretty well. I did take a couple of hits trying to get into the rhythm of dodging instead of parrying, but it ended up going pretty smoothly. When I came across my first set of Joker teeth, I realized a small issue with my run. I decided before going into this that I should rebind my counter button to some annoying to press button on my mouse so that I don't press it by accident. The thing is, I kind of forgot that this button is also used for aiming, silent takedowns, inverted takedowns, ground takedowns, special takedowns, and probably some other stuff I can't remember. So that's going to be a bit annoying for the entire playthrough. While chasing after the Joker, I ran into Victor Zsasz, and taking him out really made me feel like I knew what it's like to be the Batman, more than anything else I've gone through in the entire Arkham franchise. Harley Quinn decided to stop by and let me know that she's captured Warden Quincy Sharp, so I guess saving him is up to me now. In the next room, I learned how to jump. It was a very, very educational experience for me. I caught up to Joker and he showed off his new Titan henchman. The Titan realized that he was going up against the person who downloaded 1000 mods for Fallout 4, using Vortex, and wasted no time in surrendering. Joker then escaped because Batman was too weak to do what needed to be done. Fortunately for the Caped Crusader, Joker revealed that Frank Bowles orchestrated his escape and kidnapped Commissioner Gordon. So I went over to the holding cells to catch the scent of Bowles' booze breath and follow the trail to the elevator. Harley destroyed the elevator, so I'm gonna have to back climb my way up the Bat elevator to continue chasing Bowles. Once I reached the top, I took out my biggest group of goons yet with relative ease. The next room I've got to clear on the path to Bowles, however, is a Predator room. The thing with Predator encounters is that you don't actually need to counter in the middle. So lucky for me, they're not going to be any harder than they would be in a normal playthrough. After clearing the room, I found Bowles' body. He died doing what he loved, getting belligerently drunk at work. The Riddler then decided to call in to show off his superior intellect by making me scan a painting. With Bowles' booze breath breadcrumb trail all dried up, it was time to exit intensive treatment and enter the overworld of Arkham Asylum. I was going to look for clues to help me find and save Commissioner Gordon, but some thugs were attacking my precious Batmobile, so he's just gonna have to wait while I take care of that. It was while taking out the thugs at the Batmobile that I really got the hang of maintaining free flow without countering. It wasn't the steepest learning curve I've ever gone through, but it did feel good jumping over the enemies whenever they attacked me and gracefully continuing my combo. Lucky for Commissioner Gordon, I found his pipe next to the Batmobile, so I once again have a trail to follow. The sheer stench of Gordon's smoking habit led me to the medical facility, where Harley Quinn had him behind a force field, so I'm gonna need to enter somewhere else and fight my way through the facility. Once I made it inside, it turned out that the Joker has had his men take some doctors hostage, so now it's up to me to save them. The first room is a big Predator arena that I have to clear out to save a couple of doctors. Once I cleared out the arena, I used my talents as the world's greatest detective to ask the doctors I just saved where the next 3 doctors are. The first doctor I went after had me explode chunks of concrete directly into some goons' heads, non-lethally, to save her. The second doctor was hanging out with the absolute legend that is Aaron Cash, and to save them I just had to ventilate some Joker gas out of her room. And for the third and final doctor, I had to clear out a room of enemies using my newfound dodging skills. After rescuing Doctor number 3, I met the first new enemy type of the run, a knife dude. You can't counter knife dude's attacks anyway, so this won't actually be a problem. Okay, I've saved all the doctors, so now I can get back to saving Gordon. Dr. Young said something or other about needing to find her research notes before Joker does, but I am Batman, so there are more important things for me to spend my time on than that. Before I go down the elevator to catch up with the commissioner, I've just got to take out a few goons with guns, which was an absolute piece of cake. Down the elevator, I found Gordon. He was taking a nap, so I decided to just leave him be, because it would have been awfully rude to wake him up. Now that Gordon is happy sleeping in the hallway, I may as well go wander around for a bit, I guess. And oh shit, is that the morgue? This probably isn't the best place to hang out, I reckon. So I think I'll just be leaving. Oh, more morgue. That's awesome. Daddy Batman? Mummy Batman? What's next? Well, it looks like we've got a giant Scarecrow situation on our hands. Nothing that the good old run around in a circle and turn on a flashlight maneuver can't take care of. Assuming, of course, that I don't do anything stupid, like, say, letting Scarecrow catch me. Regardless of any blunders, I defeated Scarecrow and realized it wasn't actually Gordon sleeping in the hall, it was a random security guy, which is pretty lucky because it actually turns out that that guy is dead, not sleeping. Unfortunately, because it wasn't actually Gordon in the hallway, I still have to save him. It'll just be a matter of taking out a room full of goons and decking Harley. Now that the good commissioner has been rescued, he decided to show me Bane, sitting in a chamber conveniently located right next to where Harley Quinn was keeping him. Dr. Young drained the venom from Bane's blood. The Joker thought this was pretty rude of her, so he decided to put it all back. I pulled all Bane's tubes and junk out because, to be honest, the venom seems to have made him a bit more aggressive than I'd like. Bane disagreed with my approach, so I pinned him down with 5,000 pounds of car underwater and left him there. Non-lethally, of course, because Batman doesn't kill people. With Bane taken care of, Gordon can leave the island on a boat and I can head over to the Batcave to follow up on the Dr. Young lead. The Bat computer told me that Dr. Young had been working on a variant of Venom called Titan, which explains the Titan henchman I fought earlier. If Joker gets his hands on the formula, he'll be able to create an army of Banes. Well, seeing as I am Batman, I should probably stop him. So I grabbed the Batclaw and headed over to Arkham Mansion to find Dr. Young, who should be there along with everyone else I've rescued thus far. When I arrived at the mansion, I didn't find Dr. Young. I instead found a bunch of goons and overheard that she has been captured, so I took them out about as easily as I have throughout this entire playthrough and continued to... Actually, you know what? I've been sitting here recording this shit for a while, and it's been really difficult because of the two elephants in the room with me. So I'm just going to go ahead and address them now. I am playing the game on easy. I haven't played it on easy before, and I honestly thought it would be a bit harder than it is, so that's just my mistake. And as for elephant number 2, yeah, taking out these thugs without countering is kind of not that much harder. But there is an enemy that appears later on that, as far as I can remember, is hard to kill without using the counter button. So the challenge part of this video should get a bit more challenging then. After clearing the room, Joker let me know that he's given his henchmen collars that will beep, revealing my location if I take them out. So I then took out a whole room of the collared fellas and freed my main man, Aaron Cash. He told me that Young went to her office to hide before Joker captured her, and that she keeps important documents there, so I guess that's where I'm headed next. On the way, I made sure to tickle Ra's al Ghul's toes. I sure am glad I don't have to fight him in this game, because I remember there being a lot of countering. When I made it to Young's office, I checked the security footage and saw that she took the Titan formula from her safe. So I scanned the safe for fingerprints and started following the trail they created. The trail led me to the library, where I took out some goons and absolutely bamboozled the glass floor to get down to the bottom and save a couple goofy little hostages. The fingerprints then led me to a book that Dr. Young had hidden the formula in. I destroyed it because honestly, I would rather if the Joker didn't have the Titan formula. Joker let me know that Zaz has Dr. Young, so I better catch up to them real fast because women don't exactly have a track record of staying alive around Dearest Victor. While I was chasing after Zaz, Daddy Batman and Mummy Batman made a surprise reappearance to remind me of my Bat origin story. I shrunk, then I grew. It was great. The giant Scarecrow conundrum has reared its ugly head once more. This time around, I didn't die in the running around in circles part of the maneuver once. Scarecrow has now enlisted skeletons to help. So that's fun, but it won't do a damn thing to stop me from turning on the giant flashlight and escaping from this nightmare. Upon waking up, I saw a perfectly fine bell tower and knew exactly what I had to do. After my felony destruction of property, I found another new enemy type, Zappy Stick Guy. You defeat Zappy Stick Guys by jumping over them first, which is great because I am an absolute expert at that. I took out Zaz with a well-placed batarang to the noggin, and just like that, Dr. Young is rescued. She revealed that Joker already has a bunch of Titan, and that there are keys to a lab in the gardens that could produce huge amounts of Titan right in this safe over here. Harley Quinn woke me up from my nap, which as mentioned earlier, is a very rude thing to do, and gave the warden a good old whack, because he does kind of deserve it. Harley walked off with the warden, so I took out her henchman. It turns out, I'm gonna need a little help from the warden before I can head to the lab in the Botanical Gardens, so I scanned the stick Harles played Whack-A-Warden with for his blood, and set off following the trail. Following the blood trail, I had to take out some goons for breaking the asylum's new no walking on the floor policy. With those nasty rule breakers taken care of, the blood trail led me into the penitentiary. Once inside, I saw for myself that Arkham Asylum is in fact a very healthy and helpful mental health facility that treats its inmates with great respect and care. I followed the trail to Poison Ivy, who was so worried about her plants that she couldn't be bothered breaking out and helping them herself, and instead tried to get the most busiest of Batmans, to help them. I'm not going to help her plants, so I better continue following the blood trail. I found boneless Aaron Cash and the warden as well, I guess. While I freed Warden Sharp, Harley freed Poison Ivy, and Joker freed the next enemy type I have to deal with, the wacky goofy fellas. Sharp gave me the cryptographic sequences so that I can hack some doors and stuff as well, I guess. Then I came across my first wacky goofy fella. I'm pretty sure to beat these guys, you have to counter them, so this should be interesting. Or not so interesting. I guess the enemy that I thought would make this challenge challenging wasn't quite the challenge I thought they would be. Harley started electrocuting floors, which is totally not cool, so I'm gonna make sure to deck her even harder. At least once I get through these goons and have the opportunity to take her out. She ran away, so I better chase her. While on the chase, Harley led me to a couple of hostages stuck in a death trap, so I better save them real quick before I continue the chase. This is it, the hostages are safe and it's time to confront Harley. While I took out her thugs, she used her little electric floor trick again, which is just beyond upsetting. I really expected more from her. I decked Harley just how I wanted to, and stole her little party list just to rub it in. Now, I've just got to find Joker, so I used my talents as the world's greatest detective to get Harley to accidentally tell me that he's in the secret lab in the Botanical Gardens, so that's where I'm off to next. The trip to the gardens was pretty uneventful. I did try to avoid knocking out the wacky goofy fellas though, because I do honestly feel bad for them. The gardens are full of goons, as expected, so I guess it's my job to take them out. The first Predator room couldn't have been easier. Joker was so jealous of my raw, untamed gaming talent that he killed a hostage and blocked my path with some zappy water. Well, I guess I'm off to go turn off the generator enabling the nasty water, in a room full of goons and a hostage, because there's always a hostage. Joker had a devious little trap set up on the controls for the generator, but little does he know, Batman is so proficient with his cryptographic sequencer that he can, and does, use it to avoid paying a cent of tax. With the zappy water taken care of, I pursued the Joker until I found, guess what? More hostages. So I've just got to sneak around Joker's fellas and take out the important Joker fella to free the hostages. I snooped around a bit after taking out the last of the thugs, and found the entrance to the secret lab. Joker was right in the middle of conducting some human trials of the Titan formula. It works pretty well. Maybe too well, because now I have to do the Bane boss fight again, but this time there are 2 of them. The Titans went down pretty easy because they can't really hit me when I'm sitting on top of them. As a bonus, I was able to redirect their power into destroying the Titan production machines. Unfortunately though, Joker has gotten away with enough Titan to do some serious damage, so I'm gonna have to find a way to make an antidote for Titan to stop the Joker. To make the antidote, I'm gonna need to track down Poison Ivy and ask for her help, because plants are good and shit, so she should be able to help me. So I pulled some of her pheromones out my ass to track her. There's a little gap that I have to cross in the pheromone trail, so I of course summoned the motherfucking Batwing to give me a line launcher, because Batman is just built different. Ivy told me that there's a plant that can be used to reverse the effects of Titan. The thing is, it's in Killer Croc's lair. The problem is, I don't know where his lair is, so I'm gonna have to head back to the mansion to ask my main man Aaron Cash where Croc is kept. On my way out of the garden, Joker gave Ivy some Titan formula, so now the island has a lot of plants, so that's absolutely awesome. The mansion is right next to the Botanical Gardens, so it only took me a moment to walk over there. The inside of the mansion, though, is full of some goofy gas that Poison Ivy's plants have created, so I masterfully avoided it and made it to Cash. He told me that Killer Croc's lair is underneath intensive treatment, so that's where I'm going next. Now, right as I was about to use my line launcher to enter intensive treatment, the biggest blunder of this entire run took place. A wacky goofy fella snuck up on me and I accidentally countered his attack. So I've got to go back to my last checkpoint and not accidentally counter him this time. Inside of intensive treatment, some thugs have put bombs on the gargoyles, so now I have to clear out this absolutely packed Predator arena without using them. It took a while, but I did knock out all the goons in the room and then left to make my way down to Killer Croc's lair. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Okay, so it appears Joker has captured us and is taking us through intensive treatment to our cell. Then Joker shot me. Maybe if I was able to counter, things would have gone differently. Well, never mind then. It turns out I'm fine. It appears that we have the classic giant Scarecrow conundrum on our hands once again. So I best get to running around in circles, making sure to pulverize any skeletons that cross my path. This time, when I got to the flashlight part of the maneuver, Scarecrow injected me with even more fear toxin and sent me to a gladiator pit to fight off waves of skeletons, now including Titan skeletons. The big idiot made a big mistake though. He left 3 flashlights in the gladiator pit with me. Once the flashlights got him, he decided to run away like a little baby. To make matters worse, he's threatening to flood the sewers with fear toxin, poisoning Gotham, so I better chase that up before I go after the plants in Killer Croc's lair. I chase Scarecrow into the sewers, but he's about to drop the fear toxin into the water. I might not be able to stop him in time. Well, now that Scarecrow's dealt with, I guess I'm in the perfect place to start looking for the plants I need for the cure. I made sure to only take the smallest possible sample from each plant, because Killer Croc honestly seems pretty lonely and I feel like he appreciates my company. He ended up appreciating my company so much in fact that I had to drop him into a pit for him to let me leave. With Cock dealt with and the spore samples collected, it's time to quickly head over to the Batcave to create some Titan formula antidote. But then Ivy's plants came in and busted up my Batcave, stopping me from making any more antidote. On my way out of the Batcave, I found that the Joker has been pumping the waste product from creating Titan into Gotham River, and that's a no-no, so I better take out his pumps before the people of Gotham get poisoned. The first pumping room I went to had a fun little fight, and even better, it has 2 of the 3 pumps I need to take out right there. The second pump room was a cramped little predator level that I cleared out pretty quickly before turning off the final pump and starting to make my way back to the surface. When I got to the elevators, Joker sent what felt like an army of thugs, with a Titan henchman on top of that, down to kill me, but I took them all out without taking too many hits actually. After finally defeating the thugs and making it to the surface, I decided that this whole giant plant thing has gone on for long enough, so I'm off to the Botanical Gardens to take care of Ivy. When I arrived at the gardens, it was a pretty straight shot through to poison Ivy. Just had to take care of some of her plants and some security guards that she had taken control of with her gas stuff. The fight with Ivy was pretty fun, as always. I actually counted and I used exactly 100 batarangs to take her out, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, after I exploded her right in the face, she went ahead and fell down a pit, which better not have killed her, because say it with me, Batman doesn't kill people. Well, by my count, I've saved everyone worth saving and stopped all the villains worth stopping. So now it's time for me to head to Joker's party and confront him to stop this madness. I didn't attack the thugs on my way into the party because they were being really nice to me, and I honestly felt like it would have just been rude to stop punching them. Joker started the festivities by trying to explode me, because he's just kinda quirky like that. Being Batman though, I just walked off the explosion and continued forward to confront Joker. He threw a couple Titans and some thugs at me, but they went down about as quickly as I'm sure you've come to expect from me. As I turned to Joker after defeating his henchman, he pulled Commissioner Gordon out of his ass and tried to hit him with a Titan dart. This is my time. I've spent this entire playthrough dodging attacks. All I have to do to save Gordon is a dodge, but instead of dodging, it's like the opposite of dodging, where I dodge, but instead I dodge towards the attack. Joker decided to press E to even the odds, and now we've got a Titan Joker on our hands. Batman decided to use the antidote on himself, and the boss fight with Titan Joker began. Now I'm sure you're all familiar with the run around in a circle and turn on a flashlight maneuver that we use to take out Scarecrow, yeah? Now to take out Joker, we're going to use a similar maneuver known as the run around in a circle and use the Batclaw technique. With Joker on the ropes, all I had to do to finish him off was explode my arm in his face, and that is how I beat Batman Arkham Asylum without countering. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked it, like it, and if you want more of it, subscribe. I know that this challenge wasn't too hard, but I will be doing this challenge in the rest of the Arkham games as well, and I'm very confident that they'll be a lot harder. So you've got that to look forward to.